Ooh. Whoop. Boom. I did it. What is going on, everyone? Look at this cool background. It's so cool. Actually, I stole it from the new book, Spelljammer. So it's like a background image from a Nautilus ship. I'm assuming the Astral Sea. We got some sharks, astral shark with eye. That seems like a bad plan. And asteroid mimic. I don't know what that is up there, but I know a mind flayer ship when I see one, and that's a mind flayer ship. There are cookies. That is the idea is we'll have cookies later tonight. Shaking up my coffee because it's delicious. Yeah, hold on 1 second. Because I have a thing I got to do. Do. There we go. Let me see if this all works. All right. So it looks like I'm working. Can everyone hear me, or am I just talking into nothingness? I wonder if that's what's happening. All right, that's working. I hope I'm not just talking into nothingness and this works. I think it works. I unplugged this because I was playing a different game, and the game had it set so if you had a mic plugged in, it would auto like sound you. And I was listening to a video, and people were like, "Who is listening to random videos while they're playing?" I was like, "Oh, that was me." All right, so let me see if I can hear myself. I'm gonna turn my Twitch on my phone. So I'm like, oh, do I hear myself? Do I not hear myself? That'd be nice if I could hear myself. Or I'm gonna get a commercial. But I'm subbed, so I should. Oh no, I hear myself. Cool. Cool. Add tags. 0 out of 25? I thought I had tags. Ninja. Totally added a ninja tag. That makes me happy. Yeah, so the idea is we're gonna hang out and talk about the new Starfinder book, which is this thing from D&D Beyond, which I purchased it on D&D Beyond. So Starfinder, if you don't know, is a new supplement, new universe, whatever you want to call it, to 5th edition. They've been playing in more or less the Forgotten Realms, and Starfinder kind of brings everything into the planes of the multiverse, more or less. So Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness style. Now you could travel anywhere you wish. But additionally, it's also space themed. So I believe they got rid of the concept of the flagellum. I think I'm saying that correctly. But that's like the stuff in between the crystal spheres where the crystal spheres are the universes, and you spell jam to the different universes in a ship. Also in the Fagellan, if I remember this correctly, because it's been eons. Fire was bad. Yeah, so it was super bad. You could theoretically blow yourself up if you weren't careful and you were a caster. So we're just gonna look at some of the ships, look at some of the stuff, take a look at it. It's a first view. As I drink my giant jug of coffee. Check out the new races. So first things first, I guess we should check out the new races. There's some new interesting concepts. So this is your character options. Backgrounds, you have the Astral Drifter and the Wild Spacer. So let's see what the Astral Drifter does. You get proficiencies with Insight and Religion. You get two of your choice of Celestial or Gith, but it's recommended. Those are just recommended. You get Traveler's Clothes, a diary, an ink pen, a bottle of ink, a pouch containing 10 gold pieces. Longevity, you are 20 d6 years older than you look because you spent that much time in the Astral Sea without aging. And this is backgrounds, obviously. And your feature is your Divine Contact. You gain the Magic Initiate feat from the player's handbook, and you must choose Cleric for the feat. In the Astral Sea, you cross paths with a wandering deity. The encounter was brief and non-violent, yet it made a lasting impression with you. The deity saw fit to share a secret of cosmic lore. Work with your DM to determine the details. These are the different deities they're giving you. You could choose, obviously, you could do whatever you want. But, you know, you have a whole different types of new deities. Coriolander, Timor, I can't pronounce that. Farlanger Hearn, Eastus, Nuada. So Hecate, god of magic and moons. This is actually a earth goddess. Hecate, god from Earth. It's a Greek god of crossroads and witches and such like that. So this is pretty cool. I think if you were to do something cool with this, obviously you could choose you could do a wizard. That'd be a cool, like, divine wizard. Obviously a warlock, and you would just choose instead of your divine contact, you would just choose your patron deity, and that would be pretty cool. Like, that would be pretty simple to do, and it would work out pretty easily. So that's kind of like the first bit of this. I think this is actually a really cool background. So next up is the Wild Spacer. You were raised in the void of wild space, home to the asteroid miners, moon farmers, and other hardy folk. When they say moon farmers, are they talking about the farmers from Futurama that had the giant, what were they called? There was a special name to them. They were like giant ladybug cows, and they were in Futurama. It was hysterical. Perhaps you grew up on a far-flung settlement, such as the Rock of Braille. Braille. I hate when they do this. Please, D&D next edition-ish, put a pronunciation key where you spent years on the crew of a spelljamming ship, performing helpful chores, swabbing the deck. You could totally do a character. Was that movie Treasure Planet, which was a futuristic version of Treasure Island. So you could totally do that. Whatever your history, Wild Space have taught you, toughened you up so well. You are as brave as a miniature giant space hamster when it comes to facing terrors. You get athletics and survival, navigators, tools, vehicles, space, which is awesome because that means you can now kind of pilot a ship. A belay pin, a set of traveler's clothes, grappling hook, 50 foot of hemp rope, and a pouch, 10 gold pieces. This is pretty cool. This kind of reminds me of like the Sailor. Close encounter. You had a harrowing encounter with one of Wild Space's many terrors. You escaped with your life, but the encounter left you with a scar or two, or perhaps a reoccurring nightmare. Roll on the close encounter table to determine which creatures nearly got to you. Creatures marked with asterisk appear in the booze astral. I can't say that word. Those are in the mounts menu. Beholder, interesting. Cosmic horror, whatever this is. Free. Mind flayers, a bunch of really interesting ones. That's cool. A vampire. That's upsetting. I don't know how I feel. So killer clowns from outer space are in this edition. Space clowns, pretty awesome. That movie is terrifying and awesome all at the same time. So I'm happy to see that Killer Clowns from Outer Space made it into 5th edition. Very proud. Wild Space adaptation. You gain the tough feat. In addition, you learn how to adapt to zero gravity. Being weightless doesn't give you disadvantage on any of your melee attack rolls. That's awesome. So I kind of see, like, this is cool. They actually, so your feature are now giving you feats, which is really cool. I'm sure that was from other editions, but now we kind of see what, like, how things are moving forward. Because I was a 5e player. I stopped kind of playing 5e for a while, and now I'm getting back into it. So it's really interesting. I'm now starting to see kind of like where they're going with concepts of, like, your background is going to start to give you feats. I'm a big fan of feats. We all got 2 feats. Now, obviously the Githyanki are natives to the Astral Plane. Githyanki have been out for a while. So that's a Githyanki. You can make your own cool Githyanki space pirate character. So now we have the Astral Elf. Interesting concepts. Very beautiful as always. Eyes are really cool. Are those suns? Yeah, way to like zoom in. Those look like suns. They went to the Feywild, to the Astral Plane, to be close to their god. Life in the Silver Void has imbued their souls with a spark of divinity. The light manifests as a starry gleam in the eye. So it is a star. That's cool. Medium, 30 feet. Astral Fire. You gain the cantrip dancing. You choose Dancing Lights, Light, or Sacred Flame. Intelligence, Wisdom, or Charisma is your spellcasting modifier for it. Obviously, that's based on the class. If you are running, if you're running cleric, your wisdom, you'd be using your wisdom. Bard, you're using charisma. Sacred Flame is your best bet there if you're looking for something damagey. This is very similar to the High Elf. Standard elf race, but instead you have to choose from one of these 3. Dark Vision. Everyone has dark vision nowadays. I'm always thinking about that. I just got a text message, and the person who's out there in TV out there knows exactly what I'm thinking about now, and specifically that, and it's only that. Keen senses, you have proficiency in perception, one of the best skills, I mean the most useful skill in the game. Fey ancestry, advantage on saving throws to avoid or end a charmed condition. Starlight Step. As a bonus action, you teleport 30 feet. Unoccupied space you could see. You can use this trait number times equal to your proficiency bonus and regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. That's pretty dope. Yeah, that gets you out of a lot of things. Someone grabbed you, out. Poisonous cloud of smoke, out. Someone threw you off your Spelljammer boat, out. You get right back to it. Pretty cool. Astral trance, you don't need sleep. This is you finish in a 4-hour rest. Elf. There's all elf. Elf. Pretty simple. Auto gnome. Auto gnomes are pretty dope looking. There's a lot of lore to gnomes and the concept of them being more like they were originally mechanical and then they got turned into this. There's a lot of lore on that. You should check it out. You can find tons and tons of lore on like auto gnomes and people made them. They're very similar to Warforged, so they are halfling warforges. Autognomes resemble to its creator, and most autognomes are programmed to speak and understand gnomish. Roll on the autognome history table or choose the one that you identify with. So this is your story. I always love these things. Auto-generate your autognome. So you would just roll and you get something. So your traits, you are a construct. That's awesome. Constructs are awesome. If you've played Warforged or you know what a construct is, you're immune to a lot of stuff. Armored casing, you are encased in metal or something more durable, star metal, whatever you want to do. While you aren't wearing, your base armor is 13 plus your dex. I believe that's even better than mage armor. So that's pretty cool. Built for success. You can add a d4 to one attack roll, ability check, or saving throw you make, and you can do so after seeing the d20 roll, but before the effects are resolved. So I like this conversation piece right here. It's very Magic the Gathering. You know, you have to follow the stack, and this reminds me of Magic the Gathering. Basically, they're saying you roll a d20, you got a 12. You roll, and then you roll 12. You're like, oh, I got all together. I got a 12. The DM's like, all right, you're swing. You start to swing and you miss, and then you're like, oh, I missed. I'm gonna roll a d4. You can't do that. I think we all know what that. You can use this number of times equal to your proficiency bonus and regain it when you finish a long rest. Long rest, love it. Mending spell. You can spend a hit die to regain it. A number of hit points equal to your con modifier. In addition, your created designed. You benefit from several spells that preserve life, but normally don't affect constructs. So, Cure Wounds, Healing Word, Mass Cure Wounds, Mass Healing Words, and Spare the Dying all work on you as a construct. They don't normally do that. And Mending is a cantrip, so that's pretty freaking awesome. That means if you have a wizard, hopefully your wizard is taking Mending. If not, hopefully you can get the Mending spell. Mechanical nature, you have resistance to poison damage and immunity to diseases. You also have saving throws on being paralyzed and poisoned. And obviously you don't need to eat or drink or breathe because you are a robot. Sentry rest, when you take a long rest, you spend 6 hours in an active motionless state. Pretty cool. Specialized design, you gain 2 proficiency tools of your choice selected from the player's handbook. Do what you will with that. So that's pretty awesome. Pretty freaking cool. I think autognomes are pretty fun. All right, the GIF, not the GIF. Obviously, there's 2 F's, so that would make like a PH. I'm gonna call these a GIF or a GIF because that's what I'm doing now. That's my new life. GIF are tall, bro. They're hippo people. That's pretty cool. Hippo people. So now I want to play some kind of. I'm going to have to say warlock, and I'm gonna have a ring, and I'm going to 110% make a character that uses a specific color. We're gonna have to say maybe maybe like a emerald color or something like that. I'm not gonna say exactly what, but yeah, I'm gonna have to say I'm gonna make like some, maybe even like an artificer, and my object is a ring that I wear as a giant hippo person, and I'm gonna be known as Gigawatt. Yeah, and I'm gonna call people posers or poozers, if you will. But yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. That's the next character. So basically, they're pretty awesome. Most GIF have no idea where this astral spark comes from, but they feel its presence strongly when they are in wild space or the astral sea. So they feel closer to their deity or like their divine essence when they're in space. So that's why they kind of do this. Your medium, hippos are large creatures. Calling them medium is like a push, but sure. You have a 30 feet swim speed and walking speed. Cool. Astral Spark. Your psychic connection to Astral Plane enables you to magically access a spark of divine power, which can channel through my ring. When you hit a target with a simple or martial weapon, you can cause the target extra force damage equal to your proficiency bonus. You can use this a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus, but you can use it no more than once per turn. You regain all expenses. That's so that you don't have a monk who flurries of blows and just explodes people. Firearm mastery. You have a mystical connection to firearms that can trace back to the gods of the Jif, who delight in such weapons. You have proficiency with firearms. Ignore the loading property. Wow. Of any firearm. In addition to attacking at long range, it doesn't impose disadvantage. Wow, that's upsetting. Hippo build. You have advantage on strength-based ability checks. So athletics and grappling and shoving and pushing. And strength saving throws. In addition, you count as one size larger when you're trying to figure out your push, your drag, or your lift. That's pretty cool. The head dozy are flying monkeys. These guys look like, oh man, those are cartoon. I'm gonna date myself. There's a cartoon that it was a Conan the Barbarian cartoon, and in the cartoon they had like a phoenix, and that thing looks just like the, let me see if I can bring it up. Looks just like the phoenix. Let me see if I can bring this up. Conan Phoenix cartoon. So it was an image. No, it wasn't the phoenix. Was it a phoenix? Yeah, the phoenix. There was like a monkey animal, and it looked. Or was it Pirates of Darkwater? I might be mixing them up. There was like something. There was like a bird-like creature. It might have been from the Conan cartoon. Let me see. Pirates of Darkwater. Let me see if they have the image I'm thinking of. Yeah, it's from Pirates of Darkwater. I know what I'm talking about. Kind of crazy. It's late. Had a long day at work. Pirates of Darkwater. There was a creature, Needler. I think that was its name. And this thing looks exactly like this. I'm so happy. I'm gonna make the assumption that someone, Wizards of the Coast, was watching Pirates of Darkwater, was like, this creature needs to be in my next game. I don't care where it comes from. But we're doing it, and they did it. Those mad men, those mad folks out there, they did it, did the most. And now you could actually probably play like a space Pirates of Darkwater. Oh man, there's a Needler. Yeah, it's like a phoenix thingy, monkey bird monster, terrifying. It's adorable. But yeah, like look it up. You'll 100% see it. And so I'm excited about these flying monkey monsters, Pirates of Darkwater flying monkeyoids. You choose your medium or small. You can choose the side when you select this race. Your speed, 30 feet, climb speed, and your walking speed. Obviously, I feel like you should have a glide speed. They got glidey things. Oh, they do have glide. Dexterous feet. As a bonus action, you can use your feet to manipulate an object, open and close the door, or a container, pick something up, or set down a tiny object. This one's rough because they use a thieves tool or a set of lockpicks. Probably have to ask your DM about that one. Glide. If you're not incapacitated or wearing heavy armor, you extend the skin membranes and glide. You can move 5 feet horizontally for every 1 foot you descend in the air at no movement cost to you. When you would take fall damage, you can reduce it to 0. So that's pretty dope. You can auto reduce your fall damage to 0. Handuzi Resilience. The magic that runs in your veins heightens your natural defenses when you take damage that causes you to use your reaction to roll a d6. Add your proficiency bonus to the number rolled and reduce damage you take by that amount equal to the total maximum 0. You can use this trait a number of times equal to your proficiency. You regain, obviously, when you finish a long rest. This is pretty cool because if someone casts Fireball, enemy casts Fireball, you can use, you can roll to save for half, and then you can use your reaction to take a d6 and then add your proficiency bonus to reduce the half damage you already took, I'm assuming, to a maximum of 0. All right, plasmoids. These are cool creatures. Plasmoids are space jelly people. Jellyoids. So they're amorphous beings with no shape. They're cool. Just play a plasmoid. You're an ooze, finally, an ooze person. You are medium or small, and you select it when you choose this. Your walk speed is 30. Amorphous, you can squeeze through a space as narrow as 1 inch wide, providing you are not wearing and carrying nothing. You have advantage on ability checks that you make to initiate or escape a grapple. Pretty awesome. Dark vision. You could see. Oh, did these guys have dark vision? No, and neither did the GIFs. Didn't have dark vision. All right, so those are some more races without dark vision. I like seeing that. Hold breath. You can hold your breath for 1 hour. That should be like even longer. Natural resistance. You have natural resistance to acid and poison damage, and you have advantage on saving throws against being poisoned. Shape self. As an action, you can reshape your body to give yourself a head, 1 or 2 arms, 1 or 2 legs, and makeshift hands and feet. And you can revert to blob. While you have a humanoid shape, you can wear clothing and armor made for humanoids of your size. As a bonus action, you can extrude a pseudopod that is up to 6 inches wide, 10 feet long, or reabsorb it into your body. As part of the same bonus action, you can use a pseudopod to manipulate an object, open or close a door or container, pick up an object. The pseudopod contains no sensory organs, can't attack, activate magic items, or lift more than 10 pounds. 10 pounds is a lot. The Ttrpg. So, Ttrpgs became very popular in a older edition called, sorry, one second. One second. Sorry. Ttrpgs are from older editions from Dark Sun. Now they're a playable class, playable ancestry, race, whatever, species. And I'm super amped. One of my players, Jeff, loves the Ttrpg, knows a lot more because Jeff played a ton of Dark Sun back in the day. Ttrpgs, obviously, the lore is not here. Apparently in Dark Sun, loved eating elves. Like that was like a delicacy to them. So do that as you will. I think these are pretty awesome creatures. I wish they looked a little bit more insectoid. I like the Ttrpg from the monster manual more than these that they chose. The coloring on them are pretty cool. Pretty cool coloring. But that's my 2 cents here. This Ttrpg is missing a limb. I'm assuming Ttrpgs don't molt. I don't know enough about them, but if they did, that might regrow. Templar Blaze. I'm curious from a mechanical standpoint how their clothes is fashioned to accommodate the giant flaps of skin that are attached to their hip and ankles and wrist. It's like like the old basketball tearaway pants. Blaze, I believe that is how you would have to play them. No, I don't know. Let's go up to our good friend, the monkey folk here. So it looks like it is attached to the back of their Achilles tendon, right? Or what would be the Achilles tendon. And it's attached to their wrist. And here, if you look, there is like an open slit, Assassin's Creed style, on their bracers. And they don't wear pants. It looks like they don't wear pants longer. You couldn't get pants on. That would be, they should all be in like this, like sarongs or skirts or kilts, because you couldn't get pants on. You have to pull the pants up, and you couldn't get it over that unless these are all buttons, right? So they do have spaceships with magic, so I wouldn't put it past. They have buttons, right? Do they have anything with buttons on them? No. Belt buckles, belt buckles, belt buckles, belt buckles, belt buckles. I don't see buttons. Oh, you couldn't. So bracers, yeah, because you could unflap them and then get them around your wrist. But the pants, because pants are solid, you couldn't pull them up over the flap of skin. Right? Am I crazy? They are monkey bats, Tactical Center. They would have to snap the pants on. Like these would all like they would have to like the old school basketball pants. They would have to be snapped on because you couldn't get the pants over the ankles. Obviously, I'm thinking too far into this. My fraternity brother Vijay, he would have to agree with me. I think he's in chat. Vijay, if you're in chat and you're listening, let me know what you think. But I would have to either say they would have to wear some kind of like skirting, right? Like an option for like a skirting. So you could have like a battle kilt or a battle sarong or something like that. And then you would have button pants, right? Like zipper pants or button pants, because you do have that flapper skin that's connecting it. So you couldn't theoretically just slide pants on, right? Like that's the problem we're seeing here. So I'm really glad we had this conversation about the clothing option for the monkey folk. I'm super amped. Obviously, the plasmoids can wear anything they want because they're just goo people and they could just goo into it. You know, the GIFs are just bipedal hippo people, and the autognomes are autognomes, right? So, and then you have astral elves and elves, right? So everything works similarly, but yeah, the head doozies, or how you say them, they couldn't wear pants. That is an oversight. Let us know here at Nothing Venture, Nothing Game. We are aggressive with how we wear our clothing. Okay? We don't kink shame, but God help you if you are wearing the wrong type of clothing. Yeah, like, yeah, when you look at them, you're like, yeah, they're really, it's a cool design, right? You got the kind of the flap of skin. It would be similar to like if you were imagine like a bipedal gliding, like a flying squirrel, right? The gliding squirrel, right? So you got the skin flaps are here, so you couldn't really wear a shirt. Like Lexington from Gargoyles couldn't wear a shirt with sleeves. Like they could wear a vest, kinda, but they couldn't be sewn shut because they have the flap of skin here. Yeah, like we could all see ourselves playing this species, but the question here is like, how do you wear pants? And that's the question. Like I said, MVNG, we don't kink shame. We love you for who you are here at MVNG, but God forbid you're flying monkey space monster and you're wearing pants. We will just go ham. Back to see, but here's the funny part: the bipedal insectoids are wearing kilts, but they don't, like, they wouldn't need, like, here's the other thing: insects are like, they wouldn't be, they don't, like lizards, right? Like lizards and insects don't have their sex organs on the outside. So you wouldn't need anything on the bottom, right? So it's kind of funny that the one species that shouldn't, like, that could wear pants, the Thrycreans, aren't wearing pants, but they can. They firmly could, but they're wearing, I guess, like some kind of cloth there. It's decency. It's called decency, Jared. Insects wouldn't, right? Like if who remembers Men in Black, the original movie, Edgar, the giant monster, the giant insect. Edgar didn't care. It just didn't care. It's not part of their, right? Like if you were to extrapolate on a intelligent insect, probably this wouldn't be the style of clothing they would wear if they wore clothing at all. Obviously, I could see, like, They didn't. I feel like they didn't put the monkeys in loincloths because we'd be sitting here like, oh yeah, like why would you put loincloths on monkeys when they fly overhead? That would be kind of weird. Maybe they have to wear like some kind of diapers, right? Like diapers would make sense. Like a diaper. The Ttrpgs are wearing loincloths because the other humanoids freaked out. That's my assumption. Ttrpgs are wearing loincloths because humanoids saw them and were like, oh my god. So these 6 foot tall insects are just trying to fit in. It all checks. It all tracks. Bugs with Pampers, this is a nightmare. No, Damascus. The flying monkey men. The flying monkey species wear diapers. But Ttrpgs should technically be with pantsless. And this is the argument we're having here. I love you all for being here and joining with the insanity. An argument, Damascus, we were having earlier, if you're just kind of checking in, see, like they have like a flap of flesh that connects to the back of the ankles, so you couldn't really put pants on over the ankles. You would have an issue there, unless they're buttons. But as per all the images, there are no buttons. I mean, that's riveted, so that's kind of like, but that's riveted. See, this is a strap, so you know it's not buttoned on. Free the carapace. That's right. Hashtag free the carapace. You heard it here first. So Ttrpgs, where are we getting here? Actually, ironically, carapace. So Ttrpg art, I'm more of a fan of Ttrpgs from the Monster Manual. They looked a little cooler, more, I don't know, they looked cooler. Also, I know Ttrpgs have a special kind of like trident weapon that they use. I don't know if they brought it into 5th edition yet. But these all look pretty interesting. Additionally, I don't know if Ttrpgs could molt. And if they can, are they insectoid where they would grow that limb back? It is missing a limb. So, who knows? Creatures, you are a monstrosity. Wow, that's rough. You are medium or humanoid. You choose it when... you are medium or small. You choose it when you select it, so you could be a small Ttrpg. Walk speed is 30 feet. Chameleon carapace. While you aren't wearing armor, your carapace gives you a base armor of 13 plus your dex, similar to the auto gnomes, who aren't wearing pants, by the way. So why can't the Ttrpgs not wear pants? Free the carapace. So similar, they have that same armor, 13 plus dex. Ttrpgs have the similar 13 plus dex. As an action, you can change the color of your carapace to match the color and texture of your surroundings, giving you advantage on dex stealth checks to made to hide in those surroundings. That's pretty cool. You could have a really nice rogue there. Dark vision, they have dark vision. Secondary arms, you have 2 smaller secondary arms below your primary set of arms. The secondary arms can manipulate an object, open or close a door, container, pick up or set down tiny objects, or wield a weapon that has the light property. So that's why you see a lot of them. This guy's wearing, this single object, this Ttrpg here, is using a short sword, obviously, and a crossbow. So lots of crazy builds are going to be coming out of that secondary arm option. All I gotta say is Goro new Goro has a Goro style character, multiple blades. That's right, Damascus. New rule: no one wears pants. That's right. We are in the future, flying through space. Pants gone. Sleepless. You do not require sleep. Can remain conscious during a long rest, though you must still refrain from strenuous activity. Interesting. Ttrpg telepathy. Without the assistance of magic, you can speak to non-Ttrpg languages you know. Instead, you use telepathy to convey your thoughts. You have the magical ability to transmit your thoughts mentally to willing creatures 120 feet of you. That's a lot. A contacted creature doesn't need to share language with you to understand your thoughts, but it must be able to understand at least one language. Your telepathic link to a creature is broken if that creature moves 125 feet away from you. If either or if either of you are incapacitated, or if either of you mentally breaks the contact, no action required. So you're just like, nah, I'm solid. I don't want none of these brain magic bugs. That's upsetting. Also, there was a Rick and Morty episode where they go to a universe where they have amazing ice cream. And there's telepathic spiders. So, and then Rick looks at Summer and is like, don't try to avoid thinking any thoughts that seem spidery. So I like the Arcane. So the new races are pretty solid. The new species, whatever you want to call them, they're all pretty solid. I like them. I think I like the GIF, calling them GIFs, the hippo humanoids the most. Because they're pretty cool. The hippo humanoids. Who doesn't like a good hippo? Also, I wonder if they sweat pink. That's a thing real hippos do. Auto gnomes are cool. All of them look really cool. I'm not mad. The only thing I dislike is the elf. And that's because we have so many elf sub-races, right? Like, off the bat, so many elf sub-races. Like, there's just so many, and there's gonna be more, right? They are beautiful to look at, like, don't get me wrong, these elves are beautiful, but why more elves? Like, I get it, people like elves, people want to play an elf, just, we could have did more here. Like, I feel like the astral elf, it could have maybe been like the astral trait that you could have added to an elf, or maybe like to another species, like, oh, orc, you could be an astral orc and you get this stuff. That would have been a cool option. Or like, what about like a tiefling, right? Like, so we had the abyss tieflings, but what about like a tiefling in space? Or like, they already say like the astral plane are where gods are born or created, or in the ether, right? So why? I'm an old man. And then obviously you can play a Get Yankee, you know. So this is your typical team. This is a beautiful piece of artwork. I don't know who drew it, but it is. I really like it. I like this. This is really beautiful. I think it's amazing. One of my I wish I could get this like as a poster. I would get this as one of those posters you have display. Void Orc would be cool. That would be like a cool subrace, right? Like a Void Orc or something like that. That would be cool, right? Like that's. But so those are the races. The backgrounds, really cool backgrounds. The Astral Drifter, this is dope. Obviously, Monk Plasmoid, Astral Drifter. I like the Astral Drifter background, especially if you're doing like a Warlock. That would be a really cool way how you met your patron. They give you gods, but obviously, you know, they say you could work with your identify your DM. The Wild Spacer, interesting. You could theoretically do a treasure island, treasure planet concept with this character, right? So there's so many interesting, like Vampirate, that's a thing. The Void, that's terrifying. Space Clown. Yeah, Space Clown is a thing. I want everyone to know Killer Clowns from Outer Space is now in play. Now in play. What CR are these? Oh, they're not that bad. 58 hit points. That's nothing. They do have spellcasting. They explode. Oh, pops like a balloon. Oh, they are totally Killer Clowns. These are Killer Clowns from Outer Space. 1,000,000%. Like, this is like, I can't express to you how much more. These are just Killer Clowns from Outer Space. They have a ray gun. It's CR2s. They speak Abyssal and Common. I see you, Damascus, with your nopes. But Killer Clowns from Outer Space are in play. I am super happy with this, more than you'll ever know, because actually I was driving home, right? So I was really thinking about this new drop, right? So I was really excited. I love space travel. I love fantasy. This this is kind of like very like Spelljammer. If you want to think about it, if you're old, go watch Flash Gordon. That's what you're getting. I think a lot of people, when they think Spelljammer, they think Star Wars, right? Like, because you have Jedis that kind of have magic powers, and then you have like all these wild aliens. And you have all these alien races. I think Star Wars, Star Trek are, and don't get me wrong, right? Like, Star Trek was built in the concept of like, what if you took Lord of the Rings and moved it to space? So that's why Vulcans are just space elves. Plenty of years, Vulcans are space elves. I don't know why no one realizes that. But D&D in space is more like Flash Gordon. The 1980s movie, watch it. It's amazing. Queen, Freddie Mercury, one of the greatest. I love Freddie Mercury. He's one of my favorite performers in existence. Freddie Mercury, Prince, Michael Jackson, top 3 in existence. You know, Freddie Mercury saw Flash Gordon like before he passed on, and loved it, and did the entire score for Flash Gordon because he loved the movie so much. Watch Flash Gordon. That's D&D in space. It's not Star Wars. It's not Star Trek. It's Flash Gordon. Superior movie to all those other ones. And if you know, Flash. And then if you happen to work at the St. John's Law Library, it's Pi. But they get spellcasting, but we're not here for the space clowns. I mean, I'm here for the space clowns, but, there were just so many other creatures, right? Like you could choose from, and you chose elf. I'm sorry. I'm on a tangent. All right. So this is pretty cool. Look at the races. Now we're going to go back to Spelljammer's Adventures in Space. Obviously, you get a lot of stuff here. How spelljamming works. That's important, right? So a lot of this stuff you should really take a look at, because spelljamming, the old way it worked, was through magic, right? So basically, you had to use magic, and the only people who could use the ship were people with magical abilities. Spelljammer is the act of using a spelljamming helm. So it's like a chair or something. In this, they talk like it's the chair, the helm. So Star Trek, right? Helm, Captain Sisko, Captain Picard. It can also propel the ship on the water. You attune to this helm is akin to pins and needles effect. While attune, let's see what does the helm allow you to do. So that's the ship. That's pretty cool. Transfer attunement. You can use an action, touch a willing spellcaster. Yeah, so obviously you have to attune by spellcaster. I don't know how your DM's gonna play it. Like, can an Eldritch Knight attune to this? Because technically they're a fighter, but they can cast spells. So I guess at this point, everyone except the barbarian can. Kinda. So you could be like a druid. Right? Like we just, the conversation's right there, right? Like, so there's a lot of options there. I'm super glad they still kept the concept of having the helm and having it to be attuned by a caster. The sad part is, in 5th edition, a lot of people have the ability to cast. Unlike the older editions, when this came out, not every class could cast or have the ability to access casting. Now, obviously, if you're a fighter and you go obviously a class that can't let you cast. I don't know about rangers, right? Like, do rangers have the ability to cast, right? Like, they do have that ability. So can they do it, right? Is it innate, or is this like you need a wizard? Sensations. Using the helm to move the ship produces a feeling. Oh, so that just talks about like how it feels. A ship can have more than one helm aboard it, but only one helm at a time can use the control. If a spelljammer tries to gain control of a ship by using a secondary helm, a spelljammer duel ensues. Resolve the conflict by having them make a con check. If the dueling spelljammer is tied, have a roll, re-roll. We just know that. Spelljammer with the lowest check result loses to the duel and gains 1d4 of wow, that could just wipe you. 1d4, you know, that's rough. In addition, their attunement ends and they can't attune until they get rid of it. Air. So air and gravity. Gravity, gravity, gravity. Air, air. You're in a giant egg around your ship. That's all you need to know. There's a lot of math here. Obviously, if you're playing Spelljammer, there are vampires. Clearly, someone's going to try and attack your ship, right? Like, we could just have that conversation. Noidloid, air and gravity. Again, beautiful artwork. Fire in wild space. Although non-magical fire cannot exist in the vacuum in wild space, magical fire such as fireball does burn in the vacuum. Magical fire does not cause objects to burst in flame. However, because there is no air to make ignition, because there is do not cause objects burst in flame. However, because there is no air to make ignition possible. Why is it however? This is just in agreement to this. That should be because, like the however doesn't make sense, right? Am I reading? Magical fire does not cause objects to burst into flames. However, because that doesn't, you just get rid of that. You don't need that, right? Like, am I wrong? I feel like that's the wrong word there. Anyway, we're not here to be editors. I don't get paid for that. Air quality. So whenever you land, think like a sub, right? Like it just kind of picks up. This is important, obviously, if you play to that extent of like a survival kind of game. Fresh air, it's completely breathable under normal circumstances. The air envelope the ships. 120 days. Foul air, poison, unless you're an autognome. It goes from fresh to foul exactly on day 121. And the foul air turns deadly 120 days later. It is unbreathable. Except an autognome. That's why you bring autognomes. None of this matters. Overlapping air. When two bodies come close enough, the air just overlaps. When the bodies leave, each one reclaims and retains its own air. For example, if a damselfly ship with foul air enters the atmosphere, a planet with fresh air, the two merge and it changes from foul to fresh. If the ship then merges its fresh air with deadly air surrounding a derelict ship, it would change from fresh to deadly. So the one it enters becomes the one you now have. Blaze, that's correct. The way you're reading it, it sounds like there would be persistent fire damage, and if you threw a fireball at a crate of dynamite, you couldn't expect the dynamite to explode. However, when you read it, it kind of makes sense. Like, it just, I guess. But anyway, overlapping gravity planes, drifting. While a spell moves in space, creatures and objects are pulled along with it. However, an unanchored creature or object floating in space air envelope is weightless and drifts towards the edge of the envelope at a speed of 10 feet per minute. For example, if you get knocked out and the ship starts to move away, you'll just drift out of the bubble. Falling. A floating creature that enters the air envelope of a larger body is immediately affected by the larger body's gravity, such as going to a planet. So if you have someone in the air bubble and there's like a planet, and you fly at the planet, the person in the bubble just wah! They fall. The astral plane. This is important. Every world in the material plane is situated in wild space, or more precisely, its own wild space system. These used to be known as crystal spheres. Wild space systems are airless oceans teeming with space-dwelling life forms, including spores, Okay, so this used to be the astral sea, used to be known as Magellan. And the realm space, wild space system, like these over here, used to be known as crystal spheres, right? I think that's the way I'm going. Yeah, wild space is where astral plane overlaps with the material plane. Yeah, so crystal spheres. And then just remember, gods live in this area, so that's a dead god. That's another dead god. Wow, that's a terrifyingly bad dead god. Thank goodness. Astral Dominion. Astral Dominion. Astral Dominion. So when you're running, you're in this crystal sphere, right? So this is a space system. This is like the Milky Way galaxy, right? And then you're like, nah, I'm tired of being in the Milky Way. I'm going to the Andromeda. You'd come, you'd get in your ship. You're like, wee, boom, Andromeda, and then whatever's happening in there. So this is Forgotten Realms, and then you're gonna fly out, wee, and now you're in Greyhawk, and then you fly out. And originally you could fly to like Strahd's realm, but I don't know how that works. But theoretically, you could fly out and be like, wee, Feywild. So you could theoretically play in every system all at once. And no system. So that's how that works. I hope everyone understood that. Creating a wild space system. A typical wild space system has a sun plus a number of planets and moons orbiting it. Two examples would be Doomspace and this Doomspace. Doomspace. I want to go to Doomspace, but it's our solar system. It's a solar system. That's what you're looking at. A solar system. Yay, solar system. So yeah, not Milky Way galaxy. Sorry, it's not the Milky Way galaxy. You're going from our solar system to to a different solar system. That's all it is. World to world travel requires spell jamming ship, a teleport spell, or some kind of other magic. So when you teleport, technically you're spell jamming. Within wild space system, the DM must decide how long it takes for the spell jamming ship to travel from one world to another. This task is made easier if the DM has a diagram that shows how far each world. Just understand, your DM now needs... Oops, I clicked on the button. So these are the different multiverses. Not multiverses, more like solar systems that you can jump to. And then it tells you, see, like, this is 2-day travel from here to there. So if you've ever played Mass Effect, you kind of have a solid understanding how spell jamming works, right? It's a pretty simple effect. I mean, we travel in space, so you kind of get it. Astral fishing, that's cool. You could fish for the astral creatures. At the end of each hour, make a 15 wisdom check. A failed check indicates no fish. On a success, you rolled a d10. Quick, everyone out there in TV land, roll a d10 and put your numbers up. Let's see what we get. I'm going to have a drink of my coffee. All right. Hopefully you rolled something good and you now know what kind of fish you got. Obviously, 1 and 2, don't eat it because you'll get poisoned. And number 10 and number 9 are combat encounters, which is really fun. I don't always suggest... So, weightlessness is... it's like swimming. It's underwater combat, kind of. It stinks. Magic. Magic functions on the Astral Plane as it does in most D&D settings. The following section presents spells and magical items that are popular for astral travelers. Air bubble. Create spell jamming helm. Those are all really important. Air bubble, this creates obviously a bubble of air around you. Creating a helm, this is how you fly. Magic items, a fish suit. Fish suit, space suit, why not? Spell jamming helm. This is cool, so, draconic, and this is astral, and obviously someone like Sloth over here. Kind of scorpion. Your helm lets you push the ship. Wild space orrery. In wild space system, the portable arcane device automatically traps the position and movements of all the suns, planets, moons, comets that the system projects in the display. Basically, this is so you don't crash into something. And your ships. This is what everyone wants the most, right? Like, let's be real. You bought Spelljammer for the ships because you care less about everything else. I could care less about everything else. I want ship-to-ship combat, and they know what they want. They give it to you right here. Ship-to-ship combat. At the start of engagement, DM decides how far ships are from its enemy. 3 possibilities are provided in the encounter distance table. 250 feet, 500 feet, 1,000 feet. Initiative, the Dungeon Master presents a variant rule called Side Initiative, which is ideal for ship-to-ship engagement. Moving a ship. The person on the helm moves the ship. Boarding. When a ship moves to within 5 feet, you can board. You know, you would ready in action, kind of jump across. Crashing. You can ram the ship. Pretty cool. 4d10, 8d10, 16d10. Ship repairs. Excuse me. Non-magical repairs to a ship can be provided while the vessel is berthed. Repair 1 hit point of damage to a ship takes 1 day and costs 20 gold pieces for labor and materials. Damage to a ship weapon can repair just as quickly, 1 hit point per day at the half cost of 10 gold pieces. The mending spell is cheaper, less time consuming. Casting mending on a damaged ship will restore hit points to the target equal to 1d8 plus the spell casting modifier. The vessels bombard. Bombards are built by the GIF. This is one of their ships. That looks freaking dope. The major feature of the ship is its Norman cannon that fires massive cannonballs, capable of blowing another ship to smithereens. Only you can do this. I love that word, smithereens. These cannonballs make up most of the weight of the cargo. A winch mount on the aft deck is used to load this. I don't know any of this because I grew up in Queens, so I know nothing about boats. And obviously, boom, you get what you're looking for. You get your armor class is a 15. You have 300 hit points. Your speed is 35. Speed flies 35 feet, 4 miles per hour. 1,500 tons. Crew of 12. Keel and beam 100. I don't know what this means, and it only costs you 50,000 gold pieces. That's pretty easy. And they give you a whole. You print this out, and boom, you got it. You print this out, and you can put this, and it's pretty awesome. So you got your cannon crew, what you need. The damselfly. These are really cool. That's an Astral Dreadnought run. They look like really cool, like dragonflies, right? That's kind of damselfly. They are courier vessels and armored transports. Explorers and pirates like them because they're fast and sturdy. Military leaders use them as command ships. So, higher AC, 19, hit points 200. Damage threshold is 15. Speed is 70 feet or 8 miles per hour. 5 tons, crew 9. So this is more of something you probably be seeing players using. And the cost is 20,000 gold pieces. Obviously, your DM mileage may vary. And then these are your ranged attacks. And this is what it would look like. Beautiful, like, awesome artwork, you know. Flying fish ship. Oh, look, it's the monkey people. They're dropping on you. And they're still wearing... Oh, this guy isn't. But this one might be wearing pants. Aside from Space Galleons, is that an option? Oh, they are. Flying fish ships are the most common vessel in wild space, favored among merchants and adventurers. So they're telling you kind of what you're wearing, what you're doing. AC 15, damage threshold is 15, hit points 250, fly 4.5 miles per hour. So not too bad. And it's a smaller ship, right? Your size 10. Your hammerhead ships. Oh, that's kind of sad. They didn't give you a nice big picture. A lot of HP. These are great for pirates, merchants carrying heavy cargo. And these are the ones that can ram. See, they have like a whole system for ramming, for crashing. And that's pretty cool. So if your crew are like, hey, let's crash, this is what you're getting. The lamprey ship, That's cool. It leeches on, and look, it's like coming out of wild space, or that's beautiful. Antiquated, being among the oldest ships used, still used, and this is from Booze. Using the metal grappling drawers built into its bow, a lamprey ship can attach itself to another ship. Crew 15, so it's a big ship. You know, a lot of hit points. It's still AC as wood. Pretty decent, fast. You know, and then it can grappling drawers. It only takes one person. 4 ballistic. You know, 3 people each. Living ship. Ooh, that's an interesting one. That's cool. Druids, rangers, clerics, devotees to gods of nature often found aboard living ships. The ship's main distinctive feature is a fully grown treant on the aft deck. Oh, that's a lot of treant. So that's pretty cool. I think that's pretty cool. Living ship, still made out of wood, damage threshold. See what it is. 5 plus treant, so it's small. It's not big. That's your treant. Norloid. Oh, the Mind Flayer ships. We've seen these in action in the Baldur's Gates preview, so I'm super excited to see, you know, how these play out. So, tentacles. Pretty cool. Gravity plane. They give you, you know, Night Spider. That's a creepy ship. That's terrifying. I think this is a little more terrifying than the Nordloid, but the Nordloid, both pretty terrifying. The Night Spiders. Neogi terrorize wild space in these things. Umber Hulks. Umber Hulks are terrifying. 25 crew members, so you could have a lot. Scorpion ships. Oh, Scorpion ships are archaic metal warships that have never lost their popularity because of their versatility. AC 19, that's cool. Crew 12. Claws, and they got the tail, which has a ballista in it, which is kind of cool. That's funny. Shriek ships. Swift vessel, relatively new design. It has land, so it lands on the ground. It has legs, so it like lands. 11. Interesting. Space Galleon. Space Dragon. These are just pirate ships. These are just like generic ships. Like imagine Earth ships, you know, from like pirate times. Oh wow. The Gith have killed a lot of Mind Flayers. That is cool. That is a really cool picture right there. Oh, that's very metal. So let's see what you got. Yeah, it's just a Space Galleon. Squid ships. Those are pretty cool. A lot of the humanoids. They're attacking astral whales. Why are you attacking astral whale? Rude. Squid legs. I wonder piercing. Oh, so they are solid, and then they just kind of crash. So that's another crashing vessel. Star Morts. Beautiful. Made by Astral Elves. It's really cool. Really cool. Lots of turtle ship. Turtle ships. I want a turtle ship. That looks adorable. And tyrant ship. What? Beholders carve tyrant ships out of stone using their disintegration ray. Oh, these are beholder ships. Oh, that's cool. Wasp ship. Nice. And those are all your ships. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, we've kind of gone over the Astral Plane, all that stuff. Ship to ship combat. The different ships you get. You know, we skipped over the Astral Plane stuff. Fire and wild space was important. The cost of a helm. You know, you have all your ships, how to repair. I'm gonna... You know, so... weightlessness. You know, we kind of went over everything, and this is what you get. Then they have the Rock of Brawl. It's the city. You get the poster. Really, really nice city. The high city. You got some kind of astral lake. This is just more or less an asteroid. They talk, you know, why it's here, life on the rock, and such like this. So this is what you get. This is the Spelljammer book. This is the adventure guide. Then it, you know, you also get. So I got this all of the blues monsters. You get the giant space hamsters. Cosmic horror. So you get a lot of new monsters. Let's see what this monster is. That's terrifying. Although the eyemonger doesn't project an anti-magic cone from its eye as a beholder does, magic is suppressed inside its gullet. That's terrifying. Terrifying. Oh wow, that's even worse. Fear. A fear. It's pronounced fear. It's a tentacle horror that feeds quietly on strong emotions to minimize the chance of harming itself. It prefers to devour the nightmares of other creatures while they sleep. Is that bad? So they just eat my bad dreams? Are they intelligent? Yeah, they're pretty intelligent. That is pretty, Jif. Oh, man, that's pretty cool. The Jif Warlord. That's pretty dope. Get the Yankee. We know about the Get the Yankee. They've been a part of us early on. You know? Still with the pants, man. Still with the pants. What? This come on. Alright, well, they're like little snaps there, so I'm assuming the pants kind of snap off on the side. This one. What are we doing here? So, you know, space whales. Space blue whales. That's what we're looking at here. Lunar dragons. Who doesn't love a good lunar dragon? Beautiful, you know, haunting moon devils. Beautiful. There's a lot of great artwork, a lot of new monsters. Oh, little baby lunar dragon. The megapedes. Oh. I'm not a big fan of the bugs. But like I said, and then you get a lot of different things, and this is the space adventure that comes with the Spelljammer, you know, the whole kit and caboodle. Hopefully you enjoyed this little kind of run. What do we, you know, that's what you get with Spelljammer. What do I think about it? I mean, I wish they talked more about the first and foremost, we know the aquatic naval ship battles weren't done very well. A lot of people didn't like how they were written, and they don't really write more here on how to do more space combat, right? So if you're doing naval combat, that's one thing. Spelljammer, if you're doing space combat, it's three-dimensional, right? So you have the both X and Y, Z, this is the X and the Y and the Z, which is the third axis, because it's three-dimensional, right? So they don't really talk about that. Like, obviously the ships only shoot like this, which doesn't make much sense because you have 3 dimensions. So they would be ships like, if I was a space pirate and I had one of those squid ships, we would wait, you know, because technically there is no right side up. It's the way you're looking. So we would kind of just, I would assume if I was GMing, I would have them ram you from below your ship all the time. And that would be like something space pirates would do in my world. You know, you know, maybe as more comes out for Spelljammer, it'd be interesting. What I like about this book, you know, the new races, space travel is really fun. I really like that. I wish they went into more detail on how to use the ships properly and maybe changed up a few of the space rules. That you know, space rules. You know, ship repairs, ship-to-ship combat, you know, it's all the same. You know, this is how far it goes. It's you have to use the side initiative ability. Record initiative for each PC, you know, and then you roll for the ship. You know what I mean? Like, that's the side initiative is this. You know, record initiative for each PC and monster, arranging everyone in the correct order. If you want quicker combat for, you know, unbalanced tray using side initiative, under this variant, the player rolls a d20 for the initiative as a group or side. So it's either my side goes, your side goes, your side goes, my side goes. We kind of know what this does, and that's really it. That's really it. You know, sideboard weapons. Spelljammer has one or more weapons. Player characters are almost always better off using their own weapons and spells in ship-to-ship combat. Reverse sideboard weapons for targets that are too far away. You know, moving the ship, you have to use the helm to turn the ship. It can reorientate on its turn, you know, and then you can board, right? And that's kind of what they're hoping everyone does is like, oh, ship combat starts and you kind of board each other. That's really it. You know, they talk about magic, spells. Spells work exactly the same, you know, so you don't have to worry about that. Kind of sad about that because you are traveling in the Astral Plane and spells should be weirder. Maybe they, like, maybe something with, like, divination magic is stronger because you're in the realm of the gods, right? Like, this is more of space realmy stuff. What do I know, right? Like, I'm not a creator. That's my 2 cents. The book looks cool. Stuff seems cool. It's a cool book all around. Am I jazzed about it? I'm more jazzed about the adventure. Right? Like, I'm super excited about the adventure. The races, they were cool races, but what do I got to say? We got more elf. Cool. Auto gnomes, I like them. The GIF, awesome. Flying monkey people, awesome. Plasmoids, who doesn't want to be an ooze, and Ttrpgs. You know, why not have that? So that's all pretty awesome. You know, they have your starting city, right? Obviously, this is your starting city. If you're like doing a homebrew, they're obviously giving you something. What is cool is now you could play, and then kind of like you could start in Lost Mines of Phandelver, and then now you're playing in the Radiant Citadel. And then you go from the Radiant Citadel to the Feywild adventure, because it all just kind of matches up. And then all of a sudden you're back in the Forgotten Realms doing Storm King's Thunder. What I would like to see are more ships for large creatures, right? Giants flying around. We know in older lore they were. Are they doing that now? You know, what about dwarves? Dwarves in the original Spelljammers, they were the first ones, and they had these forges on their ships, and those were really cool. So I wonder if they're going to bring those in. I hope this is not just a one stop, and then they're going to keep it moving, because we do know they are releasing a new book coming up. They haven't said what it is, but I hope it's more Spelljammer stuff. I know people were clamoring for Spelljammer. It's a great opportunity for them to run adventures in different areas. So I'm excited to see what's coming out. You know, I hope more stuff for Spelljammer. I hope we get a lot more homebrewed stuff for Spelljammer on D&D Beyond. So hopefully everyone enjoyed themselves. That was really it. It wasn't a lot, you know, and that it was a good book, you know. And then you have your space clowns, your space eels, your space guppy. Those are adorable. And why wouldn't you want one of these things? Not space clowns, yeah. And space eels. These are rough. Yeah. And then your giant space hamsters, which are freaking adorable. Freaking space Molly Mox. Oh. Space Swine, Flying Pigs. Done. So there's a lot of stuff here. You know, I think what would be fun. Oh, Ttrpg. See? It's missing another arm. Dude. Yeah, these are it's yeah, that's its thing. The whatever that is, that's the Ttrpg weapon I was thinking of. So this is weird, right? So this Ttrpg has leap, but the Ttrpg you play doesn't. So super weird. You know, because this one has leap also. And the Mystic doesn't. But I think the Mystic gave it up for psychic powers. Again, you know, vampire pirates. They energy drain more than blood drain. And they explode, which who doesn't like exploding vampire pirates? So there's a lot of new monsters here, a lot of interesting stuff. I'm excited to see what else they come out with. I want more homebrew. I want more stuff. I'm excited. I hope everyone else is excited. So thank you very much for hanging out with me. I'm going to hang around and chat a little longer to see what's going on. But yeah, thank you. And from all of us at here, Nothing Ventured, Nothing Game, we love giving advice, rolling dice with a little bit of that New York spice. See you all around in the wildest of spaces. Whoop. All right, sorry. Steve's gonna steal this and put it up on our YouTube channel. So I'm hanging around. But yeah, Tactical Santa, 100% correct. You could 1,000,000% use AOS models would work for Spelljammer. 1,000,001%. Actually, I love AOS stuff. So like I was looking at some of the AOS models for our Spelljammer campaign that we're gonna work on. Fabio is actually gonna be DMing that. So I'm super jazzed. I'm just gonna get big. Raw, I'm so big. Fear me. Now I'm gonna get tiny again. Boop. Yeah, so Fabio is gonna be running us through Spelljammer. The adventure path that goes from 5 to 8. I am probably gonna play a GIF bard known as Hip Hop Anonymous, and that's gonna be my bard. Actually, because I have D&D Beyond. I can make a character. I think I can make a character. Yeah. Age of Sigmar. I love Age of Sigmar. I love the Age of Sigmar lore. There is an Age of Sigmar tabletop role-playing game, and I actually got really into it. It's a very easy system. Honestly, the Age of Sigmar game is very easy. It's called Age of Sigmar Soulbound. Highly suggest that you could get the. I actually have the PDF. Yeah. And they have the Idenit deep pin in there. And so you play a Soulbound and excuse me. So you play a Soulbound, and what a Soulbound is, and sorry if I'm going off on a tangent here. I know you guys stayed for the D&D stuff. I'm gonna make a character real soon, so stick around. So what the game concept is, a Soulbound, basically you're the Lord of the Rings, except you're all soul-bound to each other, which gives you these additional abilities you can do, but you have to burn, like, bonds with your teammates. It's pretty cool. It's a really interesting thing. The Storm... What do they call them? The Stormtroopers that Sigmar has. His Storm troops, or whatever they're called, can't be soulbound. Stormcast Eternals, thank you. Stormcast Eternals can't be soulbound in the game. So that's a thing that is interesting. You could still play a Stormcast Eternal. You can't soulbind with them. Let's. Do they have? Sorry. Fantasy name generator. So this is really cool. This fantasy name generator is really cool. I don't know if they have the GIF names yet. No, but we could go random Dungeons and Dragons. Do they have GIFs? You want T, NPC races, trolls. So hippopotamuses, the Harringons. So Spelljammer, you could play all of these. You could make an Aarakocra, you can make a Dragonborn, you can make a Changeling, a Centaur, a Goliath. You can make ever a Satyr. You could do all of these. A Simic Hybrid, Baxi, a Minotaur, a Loxodon. You could play all of these because you're in space. So I'm gonna say Knowles. What would the GIF name be? I'm gonna do a giant. You know what? What? I'm gonna do fantasy space. I'm gonna go home. Maybe they got like something cool. Dragon Age, Dragon Ball Z. I'm gonna they're saying Colorado. That is this person's name. And if I could steal a GIF, names D&D. Oh, that actually popped up. Horatio, Beatrix. Oh, they're like many GIF names, common tongue, since their native tongue, it's hard to pronounce. Their names are like Horatio, so they're very like Victorian era, Ophelia, Beatrice, stuff like that. I like mine better. They're sayings. Oh, they have a name generator. Oh. Yeah, Simic Hybrid, yeah. So they released Ravnica a long time ago. And that was like it was all Ravnica. It released the same time as the Ravnica box set for Wizards for Magic the Gathering. Nah, we're gonna do Dragon Ball Z saying names. Non-core Magic the Gathering Eberron. Dice rolling. Customize your own? I don't know how this works. No, do not ignore coin weight. Oh, see, Autonom is there. Cool. Yeah, so everything's here. I'm gonna go Bard. Ooh, I get 6. So, choose a musical instrument. War gong. Drum. And Swarm? That thing. I think the war gong and the drum are kind of redundant. So we're gonna take a where's a loot? Lear. I'm gonna take that. Choose a skill. We're gonna take performance. Persuasion. And athletics, because I get advantage on my checks. Wait. Let's go to calculations. Standard array. So strength, we're going to do 14. Charisma, we're doing 15. Con, we're doing 12. Dex, we're doing 13. Wisdom, we are doing 10. And 8 for intelligence. Increase 2 scores. So this is the new build. Species don't get ability bonuses anymore. Now because of Tasha's guide to everything, you can choose 2 options. You can increase 2 scores, a +2, and increase 2 scores, a +2 and a +1, or you can choose increase 3 +1 +1 +1. So I always do that one. It's a little easier. I'm going to take to increase by 1. I'm going to increase my charisma, so that gets me to a 16, and my strength to a 16. So this is what it would be. So I have a +1, you know. I'm hoping to use a gun. So obviously I get, I'm going to take Celestial. Choose a background. What did... Choose Wild Spacer. Nah. What about Folk Hero? Animal handling and survival? Nah. Who is this character? Who is Colorado? Colorado, I feel, is a traveling kind of like, they were a fighter and then they chose to travel, so they're going to be a soldier. I get intimidation, and I'm also going to take perception. I get a gaming set. They are going to take dice set. I'm going to take Haunted by Memories of War. Can't get the nope. I can stare down the Hellhound. I enjoy being strong. I have a crude sense of humor. I face problems head on. Simple, direct. I'm going to take that one. Ideals. He's seen too much fighting. Live and let live. Their bond. Those who fight beside me were dying for floors. This is why they left. I made a terrible mistake. Alignment, they are, let's say, neutral good. Their faith is lifestyle. They're gonna take the poor lifestyle and make, you know, notes. So we're all solid here. So we made Colorado. Ooh, starting equipment. Uh-oh. Let's see what we got here. Oh, boomerang. What? Let's see. Great club. Yeah. Yeah. What do they want? Wait, how many? Diplomax pack. They definitely have their favorite. Oh, what did I choose last time? Previous. What did we choose? Hippo build. Oh, proficiencies. What did we choose? Drum. Alright, cool. So we're gonna take out drum. So we're gonna take a longsword, leather armor, drum. Where's drum? Cool. 10, so we have 10 gold pieces. Dice set, we got a drum. We're gonna wear that. We're gonna wield that. We got our dagger. I'm not gonna wield that. We got adventurer's clothes, so other possessions. Add items. Oh. Okay, antimatter rifle. Yes. How much is this? 10. It's common? How much is the antimatter rifle? There's no price on this. Is rifle just an option? Can I just type rifle? R-I-F-L-E. Laser rifle, automatic rifle, hunting rifle. I'm going to say laser rifle. Where's the pricing? No, wait. Right? I have 10 gold pieces. Does no one see pricing? What are you going to say? There's no pricing here. No? Anyone see pricing? Can anyone tell me the price? No? Okay. Huh. Are there other guns? Firearms? Do they have a, like... It's going to sound weird, but are there any more, like... What other guns can I use? What does boomerang do? Hand... Okay, that's Alexandria. Fine. Hand axe, laser pistol. Oh, laser pistol. Okay. It's a weapon. It's common. Okay. It's 2 pounds. Firearm character should have precipitate, but during the they can. I come with the firearm proficiency. And I skip loading. reload. And so yeah, I'm automatic pistol. Why not? It's only 2d6. Just shotgun. Okay. Okay. Is there like a way? All right, let's see. Laser rifle. So if I just click this, it doesn't tell me. I'm not gonna wield that anymore. I'm buying this. We are now wielding that. View character sheet. Let's view this character sheet. No VT, open V. Okay. Okay. So I have 2 weapon fighting. Actions in 2 weapon fighting. Bardic inspiration. I get to add a D6. I have my laser pistol. I'm really bad at using it, by the way. More than I'd like to say, but if I do hit, it's 3d6 plus 1. My AC is terrible, but that's why I have a laser pistol. Advantage on strength. So I do have advantage on my athletics checks. Weapons, I am trained in firearms as a GIF. I speak Celestial and Common, and obviously GIF. I don't know why that didn't add itself in. That makes me a little sad. So interact with object. Astral Spark. Once per turn, when you hit a target with it, you can cause the target additional 2 force damage. So I could just unload with this because I have features and traits. There we go. So I have firearm mastery. You have proficiency with all firearms. Ignore the loading property with firearms. In addition, attacking long range doesn't require it impose disadvantage. Cool. So that's pretty cool. I can do that. Yeah. Let's see what happens if I yeah, 9. That's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. Pretty bad. I'm pretty sure I could probably make a better character, but yeah, 12. It's not too bad. Oh, a 13? I will not be hitting people with this laser rifle. I want everyone to know that. I do have advantage. I got a 1 and a 16, so I got a 21. That's not bad. Obviously, you take perception because you need to. My performance isn't the best. 16. You know, do I want to min-max? You know what I want to do. My initiative is terrible. Is this a light weapon? No, it's ranged. Laser pistol. If I only had a light weapon, because I could then, like, just start blasting my way out of combat. But yeah, that was pretty basic. Let's see, what kind of spells do I have? Do I have any spells? I would have to manage my spells. And then I have spell +5, plus 3, 13. It's not terrible. I only have 2 spell slots. I know 2 cantrips and I know 4. So what 2 cantrips will they take? These are all just the basic ones. There is still more out there. True Strike is a trap. I could see these being like a solid race. But yeah, so we made a GIF. Yeah, I have to get the other books for this, but you know, let's see. We can make a strength check. Ooh, I critically failed that one. This is why I don't like rolling. I feel like online rolling is bad. Manage. Share link. Oh, that's cool. Can I make more characters, or is like that not an option? Oh, I can. Oh, I could delete it too. Confirm. Minimize. Oh, I didn't delete it. It just deleted the class. So wait, tools, encounters, character builder, quick build, characters. So I could see my characters. So I could. So let me delete that. That's it. Delete DELETE. Yeah. And then you could play. Oh, you could get it on. That's cool. What do your subscriptions give you? Create unlimited encounters, early access to new tools, public shared homebrew, unlimited characters, and unlocked with characters. That's cool. Cool. All right. I had a blast. I was thinking that's probably going to be it for me. I hope everyone had fun. The Spelljammer seems pretty cool. Have to check out more, but stick around. We will be playing Spelljammer in the upcoming future very soon. So thank you to everyone hanging out with me tonight, and have a wonderful evening and have a wonderful night. Much love to everyone, and peace.